So if you don't know who I am Robin Dara, and I have been an esthetician for 12 years. So body care has been something that I resonate with and that I love to teach people about. And not only that, but self-care as a whole, and giving people some different practices, ideas, and things like that that will, bring down the stress levels and anything to make you feel like you're in your body again versus all the stress that follows us around everywhere we go. So I also love to use products that work really, really good, and I love to save money. So here is a great way to both take care of yourself, but also give some really thought about personalized gifts for your friends, utilizing something that you already have probably in your home, okay? So first we're gonna start with a bath salt. Now, we all know that taking a bath is super relaxing as it is, or even just soaking your feet gives our body so many benefits. But when it comes to our skin and getting in the tub, we don't realize that this is the perfect time to put into practice some skincare essentials, okay? So Epsom salts are big. Everybody has at least heard about them. You at least know that they're good for you. And if you are just starting your journey on taking care of yourself, that's really all you need to know. Epsom salts are great to help you relax. They are great for the skin. It helps with the blood flow. It helps with so many things. But I also like to pair Epsom salts with baking soda because it on its own has its benefits as well. Okay, so one of my favorite benefits of this, however, is how it balances the pH levels in your water. So if you're living in town, in a big city, there's a lot of chlorine in the water, which isn't always that great for the skin. So having the baking soda on top of all of its own benefits alone, mixing the baking soda with the Epsom salts, it's a little powerhouse of awesomeness for your skin. Okay? So there's two ways that I'm going to show you, okay? First of all, a hack. So if this is something that you're going to do for your friends and your family, I suggest getting yourself a couple of really big containers of Epsom salts, okay? And what I do on a large scale is pour half and half. So you might end up, if you've got two full ones, just dump one out completely into a bowl, and then pour half into the empty one, okay? Then you're going to pour half your container of baking soda into one of them and half into the other. Put the cover on, shake them both up, get that mixed in really, really well, and then you're going to add your essential oils. So in the ones these sizes, I don't put more than 30 drops of oil a piece. So there's 60 in total, okay? That's where the essential oils come in. That is where it's fun to start personalizing. So I'm not going to get really deep into all the benefits of all the oils because they all have their own. But two suggestions that I will make is, let's say we're going for relaxation, taking away anxieties and things like that. Lavender is a great go-to, or the Serenity. Okay, so what I'll do is actually mix them up. So I'll do, 15 drops of Serenity and 15 drops of lavender. Okay, that is one option. Another option that I really like is like muscle tension and soreness in the body. Okay, in that case, I like to use oils like lemongrass and clove because the two paired together, on their own they're good. But the two paired together is just that much better. So there's two recipes for you and one way of making it at a large scale, okay? But let's just say you want to make it for yourself or you're only making it for a couple of friends. These are different measurements, okay? So I like to use things that people can reuse, okay? Or that I'm reusing. Mason jars are going to be a great option, okay? So I have where did I put it? A nifty little mason jar funnel. And what you're going to do is start with your baking soda. And I like to take it to about a quarter of the cup, okay? So we've got 4. A quarter of it is going to be your baking soda. Okay? Next, you're gonna pour in your salts. And you're gonna bring it right to the top. I find with this thing here, as soon as you let it go, it brings me right to that point, and that is a little bit too much because we need to be able to shake it. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of it out. So maybe a better gauge would be like to the top, like the bottom of the rim, okay? Now, in this case, I only put 10 to 15 drops. You're pretty close, you're pretty safe with 10. So in this case, say we're going for the relaxing thing, you're gonna add 10 drops of your oil, you're gonna put your cover on, you can shake it up, and away you go. Another great option for gift giving, if you don't wanna go buy a whole bunch of mason jars, you can get these great little bags off of Amazon, and once you fill them up, okay, you can use an iron or even a flat iron and seal this off so it looks even more professional, okay? I personally print my labels off of the computer. I just make them myself. I go and I buy Avery labels and just make them, print them off. But since we're sponsored with Oil Culture and Oil Life, that is a great, easy way of getting some labels and not having to put that work into it, okay? So that is one option. Again, we're focusing on skincare. We've now relaxed the body. We've given the skin some things that are healthy and great for it, depending on the emotional target that we're going for, whether it be like lessening our soreness or calming down the nerves and getting ready for sleep. We've also balanced the pH in our skin because we have used the baking soda. So next, something we need to take into consideration is our skin has its own cycle of renewing its cells. But when we get older, you know this, it slows down and it often needs a little bit of help. So what will happen if we don't help it? It's not going to be huge, but your skin is going to start looking sallow. It's going to start looking dull. It's going to start feeling dry. It's going to start, all the things that we don't want our skin to do, okay? So a great way of helping the skin, and you're getting a 2-in-1 here with this recipe. You're going to exfoliate the dead skin, and you're also going to hydrate it at the same time. So again, I am huge on making things easy. I like to take away a lot of the effort into things. So I'm gonna give you the most basic scrub recipe you'll ever see. And all it is sugar and olive oil, okay? So I personally like to use brown sugar. So if you're someone that wants to make this in a large scale, find the jars that you wanna use. Again, mason jars are great. You can get the little ones that are kind of flat that have a large hole on the top. I don't have any of those left, so I'm just going to use a reusable glass container, and I'm going to pretty much fill this container up with brown sugar. So white sugar is okay. I just find it more coarse, and I don't personally like it on my skin. So again, you play around with the recipes that you like. So I filled my bowl up pretty well with the brown sugar. Now, that's when the olive oil comes in. You're literally just gonna pour your olive oil on top. Let it kind of soak in a bit. Sorry, I don't have measurements, but it's pretty much half and half, a little bit more sugar than oil. And then you're just gonna slowly mix it in. So, I like to use this option while you are physically in the bathtub or in the shower because it does get messy. If you prefer to do this before you get in, fine, use a towel just to save yourself some of the headache of getting that oil and sugar off the floor. But you also need to keep in mind that the oil is going to make the floor slippery or the shower slippery. So you want to be mindful of that. So if you want to get a little bit more fancy with your recipe, by all means do so. You can use things like beeswax pellets, shea butter, coconut oil. And what that's going to do is just kind of harden your mixture a little bit. It's great, it does feel good, but it's absolutely not necessary. It saves you some steps and you're still going to get the same benefit on the skin, okay? So you want your mixture to be able to be grabbable. You can play with it a little bit more. One thing I will say is if you are using the refined coconut oil or the shea butter, it holds it together a little bit better. So it is less mess on the floor or the shower, but either way, it's going to land in the same place, and you're still going to have to deal with oil and sugar wherever you're doing this, okay? So what you're going to do is add your essential oil for scent. So again, you can use oils for different targets. I love, again, lemongrass. I find it does overpower the smell of the sugar without using a lot of the oil. And you're focusing again on the sore muscles and things like that. Aroma Touch is great. Serenity, Lavender, these are all great ones. Adaptive is great. Take your pick. Maybe you know your friend or you know yourself. Like, so it's kind of when we're thinking about personalizing these gifts, you want to think about what is my friend going to benefit from most? Or if you're new to oils and you don't really know what to use, what ones do you like the smell of? Add that one in. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you, again, I did say that this is a 2-in-1. So if I'm doing this, the scrub in my shower, I don't worry about putting any type of lotion or anything on after I get out. The olive oil does the trick. It leaves your body just feeling so nice, absolutely not thirsty in any way. But on the days where you're not exfoliating, and I wouldn't recommend doing this more than a couple times a week. So now, so far we have this perfect gift so far, bath salts and body scrub. Let's figure out something to give our friend for the days that they're not going to exfoliate. We need to give back to our body what we take care of it. So a rule of thumb is every time you wash, you have to give it back some nourishment. So some people don't like the feel of oil on their skin unless it's bedtime. So let's use this as an oil that they're going to use after their shower in the evening before they go to bed. I personally don't care. I like to use this all day long, but everybody has their own opinion. So doTERRA does offer its own body carrier oil, and this has things like jojoba oil in it. What else? Some sunflower seed oil, different things that I literally just have laying around the house for when I'm making stuff for other people. So for this recipe I'm going to give you, it's going to be super, super simple. Okay, so I have got sweet almond oil. I love this because it has a lot of slip. Okay, but it does have a bit more of an oily residue. So I'm going to take a little pump bottle that I bought from the dollar store, because this would be one that I probably sell. So I don't want to use something that I sell that I've already used, okay? But in your case, maybe you have a pump shampoo bottle that you don't have, that you're not going to use anymore. You want to upcycle it. There's all kinds of options. Use your own judgment. This here is fractionated coconut oil. So this is a great example of an upcycled bottle. I've just put my coconut oil into it, so when I make roller balls, or I'm just gonna put some oils on my kids, I can just pump it into my hand, pick the oil I want to use, and then rub it into them. So the fractionated coconut oil, it is great to kind of hit some of the oiliness of the other one. So almond oil is more nourishing to the skin than the coconut oil, but this is more oily on the skin than this one. So if you mix the two together, you're just not going to have as much of an oily residue, but the benefits of the two are great for hydrating the skin. So I'm going to take this one to about, there's about a quarter of this bottle left. Another great add-on, optional, obviously, is vitamin E. So something to take into consideration when you are making things for yourself or for your friends. We spend a lot of money on skincare products, and we spend a lot of money for active ingredients. And these active ingredients are why the price tags are so high. But if you can't pronounce the active ingredients, then chances are you're either being scammed, or what's the point? What's the point in putting something on your body when you don't know what it's going to do for you? So I love the option of using doTERRA as my new skincare source, because this way I know what I'm putting on my body. And I'm also using those oils for 5,000 other things. We won't get into that right now. Okay, so I've had coconut oil, almond oil, vitamin E. You can add other things like the sunflower oil, grapeseed oil if you are allergic to tree nuts. I'm also going to add just a tiny little bit of olive oil because it's right here. You can also add witch hazel, which is something that will help balance the pH in your skin as well. I just have a little bit of space here at the top. I'm going to add my essential oil. So I'm going to think about inflammation, pain in the body. I'm going to think about healing of the skin cells at the cellular level. And I'm going to think of antiseptic prevention. Okay, so I'm going to use frankincense, copaiba, and tea tree. Okay, so these are going to be my quote-unquote active ingredients. Okay, so frankincense and copaiba are both targeting inflammation. The frankincense is healing at the cellular level, and then the tea tree is a natural antiseptic. So it's going to help with any bumps or scratches or anything else that may need a little bit of extra target for healing. Okay. So I would do like probably 5 and 5 of the copaiba and the frankincense. And not only that, both of these oils help amplify what the other oils are going to do. Okay. So again, this is just my preference. Some people like peppermint. You could add peppermint or spearmint into this if you want to feel a little bit tingly and, awake. That's a great one to use. Grapefruit or Smart and Sassy is really good if you're targeting loose skin or you're trying to like tighten and tone. Siberian fir is awesome. And another thing I didn't even get to mention, and this video is getting really, really long, so I need to wrap it up, is taking one of the essential oils in emotions book. If you are looking for a specific emotion that you want to heal on the skin, checking that out will help you narrow down what oils to choose for yourself or your friends. Okay, again, this is getting way too long. But yeah, super simple. You've got 3 things now that you can gift people as, a whole combination of things. If you are looking for a specific recipe, feel free to just reach out and I'll give it to you. How many oils to use and such, I usually just wing it. I wing it, but in a bottle this size, it's a 60 ml, I wouldn't use more than 30 drops. So yeah, hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you'll take one of these ideas and you'll make your friend or yourself a personalized gift that just feels so awesome. And have a wonderful day.